It's a 4-speed, completely rebuilt, ready to go, other than the bell housing, which I have another bell housing coming. This one will be ready. The converter I was showing earlier goes to this transmission. This one that's on the bench, it's an 0371L, and the L's for the lockup. So basically from here back is Volvo, from here forward is Geo Tracker. It's a 4-speed automatic bell housing you have to make this work. And then I use the 4-speed automatic lockup converter that's in here. That's the one that I actually put in here. So everything as of right now is good. I have to figure out the dipstick tube for the transmission. So I'll be monkeying with that. I may have to do a little bit of bending, moving around to get it basically to go up. I don't know where it's going to go, if it's going to come up here. If I can get it to come up in here, I believe this is where I want to get it, and I think it'll be fine. I'm going to actually take this sensor. I don't know if I can get a plug to go in it, because I think this is like a straight thread with a copper washer. So I think what I'm going to do is take this out, throw it in the lathe, machine this piece off, and then just weld it back up and use it as a plug. I think that might be the easiest way. And then basically get everything else done back on here. I'm going to end up turning the camera off here in a second, just to, I gotta go dig and find these nuts. I don't know what I did with them. I put them up somewhere so I wouldn't lose them, and I'm sure a lot of people, same boat, put stuff up so you don't lose it, and then you can't find it. so that's where I'm at. So I just gotta find that and then work on putting all the motor mounts and stuff on. So I'm gonna go look for those. I'll be back. Found the bolts, just trying to get those in right now. I get these buttoned up, get the converter bolts in, get the starter in. I'm probably going to assemble most of the motor while I wait. Alright, I ended up putting the converter, putting everything on, getting all the bolts and tightening it up. Battery was dead, and I was already kind of in motion of getting this done. So I wanted to get it done. Basically, I have the AW71L. It's a Volvo trans, like I've said before. Everything's bolted up. The adapter plates from Acme for the 4-speed. Got the starters for the tracker. I believe it's an automatic starter as it is. And got the motor mounts on, got all the bolts, everything's Loctited in. So we're pretty good on that. I have the shifter in, basically hooked up. I shifted it a couple times just to make sure it worked. It does work. It's a little tight, so I don't know if this cable, if it's bad or not. But I'm going to look, because I believe the cable, because it's basically, when you look at it, it's basically park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, low. And I believe the 3-speed is the exact same way. I have that shifter as well, so the cable might be the same. So if it is, I'm gonna go ahead and change that cable out. It just shifts really, really hard, and I don't think it should shift that hard, so that's the only thing I'm gonna change. I did crank it over, make sure it was cranked over, and I actually can do it again here. I have my jumper hooked up. So basically you can see it cranks over. So everything sounds good. Battery's a little low, it's at 58%, so I'll go ahead and put that on the charger and charge that up. I can actually take have another battery or another extension cord over here. says it's at 72%, but when I check it, if I pull that off, now it's saying 66, but it was at 58 a second ago, but that's fine. I'm gonna cover this back up. I gotta put the valve cover on it. But it does crank, nothing's hitting there. One thing I have to do is I have to switch out the back of the yoke. Everything here just sitting here. This one's bolted on tight. I'm gonna end up putting this on here probably next couple days. I gotta get oil and put in. It has no oil in it. Transmission has no oil in it. But I believe what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna end up getting a dipstick and see if I can route it up here somehow. I want to use it so it bolts to one of these bolts so it's tight. But I may have to do a little bit of bending with it. I'll have to see on that. But I did end up, I ground the transmission out a little bit for this bolt to go through. This bolt holds the plate to the motor. I don't feel that it needed it, but I went ahead and did it because it was there. I figure if I don't, I have a lot of times I'll be out somewhere and not have a bolt in something on purpose, but everybody will point it out that it's missing. So I figure I might as well put that bolt in. And then, like I said, I gotta change this yoke. So this is a yoke, basically the stock one, which we'll put on. I have metric sockets, which these are metric, but a lot of times they'll be the same on American. It's not that big of a thing, so I'll go ahead and buzz it off, put it on the other one. Looks like he had some silicone on it, which is probably, yeah, there must have been a seal. It's supposed to be a seal, it looks like. Which is fine. I think that's all. I'll do the same thing. I'll fill it in with some silicone. I'm gonna try and get this thing to work. See if I can get this to work. have this shifter. This is a 3-speed one. Same basic thing. I just don't know if the throw here to here is the same. It's also different. The 4-speed one has 3 bolts. No, this bracket bolts onto it. So that might be different. So the one that goes to the 4-speed may be different. I don't know if I have the right one on the transmission. So I'm gonna have to check into that. Have the turbo here. Had it coated. There's a turbo here. It's brand new. The turbo's brand new. Manifold, I believe, is brand new. I don't remember if I take it back. The manifold was not, but basically I think I can get that on there and make it work. I do have this one, has the EGR, and I do have another one I had coated, and then we cut the EGR plate off. I just have to locate that one.